Hi, I'm Fiona Tang, GM of Customer at PAM, and here with me is Machar Reid, the Director of Innovation at Tennis Australia. So we're here to talk a bit about the 2024 Australian Open, where fans were able to experience a new era of navigation using PAM's digital wayfinding solutions. So welcome, Machar. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Fiona. I'm looking forward to it.
So before we start, can you give me a little bit about yourself and your role at Tennis Australia?
Sure. So, as you mentioned, I'm the Director of Innovation for Tennis Australia, and that encompasses the Australian Open as our headline event. We've got some other arms to our business, the high performance arm, and then the community sport angle. So, I've got the great fortune of being able to work across all of those elements and look for new and different ways to innovate.
It sounds like a very exciting job. So first up, thanks for choosing PAM to be part of the AI Startups program. Can you tell us a bit about why you selected PAM and the impact that it had on innovation at this year's Open?
Yeah, absolutely. So Australian Open Startups is our opportunity or our way of opening our doors to the world and acknowledging that we're not always the custodians of the very best ideas. So we welcomed PAM to the fold, and we're really excited by the wayfinding technology that they were going to bring to our event to allow our patrons to navigate the site in a completely new way for 2024. Needless to say, the feedback we received was super positive, and we look forward to building more capability into the app and the website moving forward.
Yeah, that's really brilliant to hear. And, feedback that we had was that, it did just bring sort of everything a bit more to life in terms of that interactive wayfinding for the event.
It absolutely did, particularly given the site that we have, which is so significant in size. Oftentimes it can be difficult to navigate your way around. So with the introduction of what PAM was able to do, particularly with the 3D imagery, if you like, that provided fans an entirely new perspective and different way to enjoy the entire precinct.
Yeah. So we found, after the event that, almost 20% of fans used the digital maps through the event, and, feedback from the team that we worked really closely with, said it was a very big hit. So what do you think that says about the impact that PAM had on fan engagement?
It speaks volumes, right? The fact that so many fans actively used the maps shows how valuable a feature they actually were. It wasn't necessarily about getting from A to B for the fans as much as it was enriching the entire event experience. And then as an extension of that, the data we were then able to collect as a business helps us to inform what the site might look like into the future.
Yeah, and that's one thing, that we at PAM know is just so important. The data that you can get from apps like this is just invaluable, for learning and also planning for the next or future events as well.
Yeah, and I guess the addition of the three-dimensional layer adds some real dimensionality for us, some immersion for the fans as well. In turn, that creates a strong connection between the physical and digital world, and that's something that we're forever striving for as a business. So, and the smart search, which is another functionality that you guys are able to offer, again, added a feature that the fans previously didn't have to draw down upon.
Yeah. And what did you think about the sponsor activation and sort of being able to make them more prominent and at the forefront?
I think anything that we can do as an event to make the entire precinct more visible and accessible for patrons can only help. And that includes the visibility that we might be able to provide to the sponsors that are so important to making the event a success.
So talking about accessibility, obviously safety is a huge one as well, and inclusivity. So how do you feel that, the Explorer maps addressed these aspects for the event?
Well, accessibility, it's a top priority for us as well at the Australian Open. And PAM's maps were instrumental in making sure that was the case for everyone that enjoyed the event. We were able to highlight accessibility routes, centre-friendly areas, and wheelchair-friendly paths in a way that we'd not done previously. So that was a significant uplift and value add for the patrons on site. Safety is another critical focus, and needless to say, the maps help to identify different first aid stations and emergency information, which becomes relevant for the fans on site.
So looking into the future, how do you see digital wayfinding evolving for the Australian Open and its innovation agenda?
Well, 24 really laid a strong foundation. So we're super excited about what's to come and how we can expand upon those innovations. The data we've collected from last year's event already helps to inform next year's and more than likely, beyond that. So in terms of the way that I see digital wayfinding becoming an even more integral part of what we do, well, and in honesty, that is not just what we do, but all other major events, is through the way in which it helps fans to connect with their surrounds. And that's not just within the precinct of the Australian Open, but equally even in terms of getting to the site itself.
So it sounds like everything you're doing, means that the Australian Open, its future is really bright. So my last question would be, do you have any final thoughts on the impact of this partnership with PAM?
Well, look, we had 1.1 million fans attend the event last year, and each and every one of them obviously experienced the digital and physical in different ways that become important for them and super personalised and customised. So what we were able to do with PAM just amplified that personalisation for each individual that attended the event and wanted to better find their way around. So from that point of view, it made a really important impact to the event experience in 24, and we look forward to seeing what that might grow into in future Australian Opens.
Yeah, I'm really excited as well to see, what more we can do together. So Marco, thank you so much for your time and joining us today. I've really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure everyone who watches this will as well.
Pleasure, Fiona.